Humble Jerk, thank you for waiting patiently, sir. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Wow. Oh wow. Oh my God. I agree with Dr. Umar and what he said. I never thought I'd see a day where women would not agree with him and be upset at what he said. Um, if you know anything about Dr. Umar, he's not for any other race but our own. So when you hear the examples of women using women of other races as if that's going to make what he says invalid, it's kind of comical because he's never about the betterment of anyone else. Everyone else's experience as another race is not our experiences as black people. I will say, black women were not given the space to wait for us black men and get our stuff together. Let me be absolutely clear. They weren't given that space to wait for us to get our stuff together collectively. So, the representation that's put in front of a lot of our women today, in their opinion, not my opinion, but in their opinion, the men that they open up their legs to, the men they have babies by, the men that they out earn and out learn, those are a reflection of the men that you are around, the men that you deal with, because 57% of black men are in the middle class. Um, Even myself, I'm not super well off, but I make damn near double what the average African American makes as far as a man. A lot of women aren't going to out earn me, but I don't use my education or what I make an hour as some type of weapon in society. But you hear a lot of women when they talk about their accomplishments, which mean nothing in a relationship. They talk about those things. They talk about the things that we don't care about as men. And when you hear women talk about age and how it's a red flag if the man's 5 years or 6 years older, but they're also the same women who are in high school dealing with men that were in their 20s and picking them up from school and they jumping out of windows in high school to go be with older men. It's hypocritical to hear a lot of women have a stance rooted in their own biasness and their own negativity that for some reason they don't think women bring to relationships. If a man was to say every black woman I dated was terrible, and now I'm going to have a conversation about all black women, women would have a problem with that. They would say, you don't know all black women. But when black women have conversations about black men, when they haven't dated us all, you don't hear these same women in the comments making videos, stitching, having lives talking about, hey, sister, talk about talk about the men you dealt with. Talk about the men you slept with. Talk about the men who failed you. You don't ever hear these same women having a problem or a stance then. They always want to correct men when they're opening up their mouths. Oh, you better not say that about a black woman. But when a black man is being torn down by a black woman, they quiet, they silent. Dr. Umar is their best friend until today, right? That audio proves these women, for the most part, in my opinion, the most beautiful women in society, in my opinion, okay, they have the worst scars. They have the worst experiences. They've had men around them who didn't look at them as an actual person. They didn't love them correctly. They didn't support them. Those women had men who were there for a benefit of their physical abilities. They didn't know how nourishing it was. They didn't love her correctly. So of course these women are going to be in society projecting negativity. They don't know men. They didn't have men raise them. The men that were around them were trying to have sexual access to their body, which is why you hear these women harp on the fact that they can get any man they want. Yeah, but can you get the man that you want? Can you get the man that wants you? Are you accessible to that man? Does he know you exist? No. You know what I'm saying? So these women have access to all these men and they parade in front of everybody else until they get older, into the fact where men who are their age are like, nah, I'm good. I don't want an older woman. I'm good. And especially if I'm trying to have like a pregnancy that isn't at risk, I'm going to deal with a younger woman. Now, I'm a father myself. Okay. I made a woman a single mother and a single woman because my daughter live in my home and I get child support. Okay. Every month since October 4, 2016 is when my daughter lived in my home. She's 11 years old now. Every dime I get each month for child support goes in an account for my daughter. I've never touched it and I never will. When she turns 18, every payment will be there for her. You hear women talk about stuff like that? You hear women talk about the men who are actually fathers in society, the majority of us, the black men in society who are out here taking care of kids that are of any race. We're the only black men are the only men that's stepping in for women of other races to take care of children where their fathers have left, where the shortcomings have been. So I just don't understand how when we talk about, what Dr. Umar said, there's so much pushback from women. When you see your friends go out here and be dogs, you see your friends go and try to sleep with your husband and your boyfriend and all the other men in your life, your best friends. And you got women talk about you can't be friends with a woman. Are you crazy? I'm a safe space for a lot of women. I have women friends that I've been friends with for 20 years. I never sexualized them, never tried to have sex with them. They told me I'm their safe space. The fact that I've never tried to sleep with them. But you know what I would do with my women friends? They other friends, that's like, dang, he a nice looking guy. He cool. He making a nice amount of money. Why you never talk to him? I'm shopping in her friends list. I'm not being serious. I'm playing around. You know what I'm saying? And we as men need to work on our emotional intelligence and relationship intelligence. Our women need men who can be there and lead them. And they haven't had a demonstration of that. So, of course, a lot of them are going to be mad and bitter and upset. And they're mad at the fact that us men who are older, I'm 37, I'll be 38, I'm looking at a younger woman. She got less baggage. She got less issues. She got less bad relationships. She got less women in her ear talking negative. Like the older women, most of the younger women are like, oh yeah, girl, that ain't gonna be me. And then they turn into that woman when they get older. And now they don't want to give that tutelage to the woman under them because they're like, I don't want her to do better than me. But women don't talk about that. Y'all don't talk about how y'all jealous of these younger women who look better, who got less experience, and men actually gravitate to them because they're nourishing and they're loving and they're not guarded and they're not shattered by the men that you had before. Like, men aren't trying to follow up the negativity that a lot of you women have brought on yourselves with the men you dealt with. We're not telling these men to go out here and use you and make kids with you and not take care of them. They're not in a circle with us telling us that they're abusing you or doing all this other stuff. They're not talking to us and saying, hey, you think that we should mistreat our women or talk crazy to them or be disrespectful? You think that's okay? We're not having conversations about that. We're not telling them that it's okay. So, like I said, Dr. Umar said some things that were very much true. I know there's going to be a lot of pushback from women because they believe that women are perfect. They don't do no wrong. There's no way that a woman can misuse a man, manipulate a man. Y'all go out here and steal and take the resources of a man, and he better have all this stuff. And then you ask that same woman, what does she bring to a relationship? Nothing. Silence. You ask this woman, how's she going to be nourishing? How's she going to build this man up so that way he can actually be the man that he needs to be? Because women bring that to us. Women bring us the other side of ourselves that we cannot build on our own. And as a father, it's my job to protect my daughter and put her in front of individuals who can be the person that I can relinquish my power to. And not even power, but my parenting skills. There's going to be a man she puts in front of me, and I'm going to have to assess him. And a lot of women didn't have that. They didn't have males around them, so they was out there just dealing with whatever man would come in their face. That was their currency. Women's beauty is their currency. That's how they get access to men until they learn that there's a lot of men in society who will judge you off the men who don't want nothing to do with you versus the men who do want something to do with you. I care more about a man who want to get far away from you than the man that's in your inbox. That's just me personally. I judge a woman off the men who don't want you versus the men who do. But hey, every man, you can't just talk to me as a woman just because you look good. That's just me though. You know what I'm saying? I have access to that. I can open up this app every day if I wanted to and talk to women. But that's not what I'm on here for. I'm on here to troll and talk crazy. That's what I come here for. Shout out to my mans. I got multiple accounts with at least $1,000 in it. My mans will let you know. But my finances are not nothing I lead with. I can be in any city within 24 hours, anywhere in the country within 72 hours. I got that type of schedule. But I don't come here to be rude and be disrespectful. I'm working. I'm still working. I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to the point where, when I get a wife or I get a woman, both of us can go buy a home because we can get first-time home buyer loans. I can get one and you can get one. And then we can live in one property and you can rent out the other property. We can rent out the other property. And now we have an asset while we start our new marriage and our new lives together. She might have children. She might not. She might be young enough to still have children. She might not want children. But the fact of the matter is, it's hard to build with a lot of these women today because they got so many of their guards up from the men that they dealt with before that it's almost impossible to deal with a lot of these older women. And these younger women ain't no better. They're individuals. They're being taught to, suck a man, drive his resources. So it ain't just because you date a younger woman don't mean she absolutely wants you because she's, draining you for your resources or she really loves you or she wants to be in a relationship with you. A lot of the times it's a necessity. It's the fact that you can provide. What you hear these women say, they date older men because they can provide and they need leadership. But when you are a woman who's been in a leadership role your whole life, how could you ever submit or how could you ever be with a man and let him lead you when you don't trust the man? You don't like his direction. You want to go your own direction. What benefit are you in a relationship? But when you say that to women, we don't like women. If you like men, just say that. And that's why I just say what I want. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they're going to judge you anyway. You already know how it go. Noble, it is what it is. Us as black men, especially in society today, I'm going to say this and I'm going to land. When you're a negative black man, when you're a disrespectful black man, when you're a horrible black man, a man that doesn't take care of his children, you represent black men in society today. When you're an educated individual, emotional intelligence, you love your woman correctly, you're respectful, you're not out here being the dangers that these women are talking about, you are an individual. You're not a representation of the rest of the black men in society. That's not how you're viewed at all. You are an individual. You don't represent black men. So I want people to think about that. Think about how positive and how great some black men are. They're individuals. But as soon as you negative, as soon as you disrespectful, as soon as you put one of these women in a compromising situation, now all of a sudden you represent the rest of the black men in society. And how can you deal with that?